Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell them. Look, I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. Hot or cold, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with another episode of the Success Chronicles. And today, truly excited to have Miss Melissa Ashton on with us, an awesome lady that's doing lots to give back and serve. And so truly thankful to have her on. So first, thanks so much for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles.
I'm glad to be here, Chip. And also my friends call me Missy. So you call me Missy.
All right, Missy. All right, well, let's dive into it. If you don't mind, share a little bit about, your background and your journey so the audience will have an idea of who you are and what it is you do.
Okay. Well, I am a Texas girl. I was born in Houston, and I'm the oldest of five. I have yet four younger brothers. And my mom's two younger brothers who were older than me, my uncles, lived with us growing up. And so I grew up with six guys. And so I kind of like a cross between a, locker room and a Buffalo Wild Wings. That's kind of how I grew up.
That's your jam.
Yeah. So, I grew up and, lived in my mom and dad were just really a beautiful couple who really loved each other a lot. And my earliest memories are really a very happy, loving home. I was given a lot of love. But when I started getting a little bit older, started being some problems. And my mom started having a lot of health problems.
Mm-hmm.
And also she grew up, and I didn't know till later in life really the level of how much abuse that she grew up in, but she grew up extremely abused in all kinds of ways. She went through a lot of trauma. But I think when she started to really face a lot of health problems and physical things, combined with the trauma that she grew up in, really kind of was a perfect storm for her, where she developed a pretty heavy addiction to opioids and all kinds of whatever the doctor would prescribe her. In those days, they loved to prescribe a lot, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it was in those days. But our home started to become more chaotic. And more, I started being the caregiver often for my younger brothers. I started as I moved into teenager. I remember being afraid to leave my brothers at home by themselves. So I was the girl. So like Friday night lights, in Texas, it's a big thing where I remember going to my high school football games, and I'd bring my little brothers with me.
Yeah.
I remember going to the beach. I remember we had a senior skip day, and, we all went down to Galveston, and I was dragging my little brothers with me. They were playing Frisbee on the beach with our football players from our high school. And that was normal to me. I was just always taking them with me and trying to protect them.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a time in there in my teenager, probably maybe around 16, that I realized that this is not the life I want. I noticed that there was a lot of trauma, even outside of like my aunts and uncles. And, there was just a lot of addictions and trauma and results from, the abuse that they grew up in. And I just made up my mind that this is not what I wanted. I wanted a different life. And as I was getting older, my brothers were getting older, and then they also started coping and getting into their own addictions and trouble. And so the chaos exponentially just multiplied in our home. And I remember I was 18 and I knew I had to leave. I knew I had to go. And that's one of the hardest things that I did. I remember the struggle was not leaving, or if I could, was I going to be okay by myself? That didn't scare me. The struggle was leaving my little brothers behind.
Mm-hmm.
That was what was hard for me. But I knew for me to survive, I had to do it. I had to do it. So I left home at, like I said, a pretty young age, 18 years old. And I set out to live a different life. I set out to do that, and been able to. Things have not always been easy. There's been a lot of curveballs thrown my way, a lot of hard things that have come, but I've been able to marry someone and have kids and have a home where there's not chaos. There's a happy chaos of
Right.
getting to football practice, getting everybody
Yeah.
fed and all that kind of stuff. There's a happy chaos of kids wrestling and playing and all that kind of stuff. But there's been a happy chaos in our home, but it's been a happy chaos. Been able to have that family where there's not a lot of yelling or screaming or unpredictability. That's probably, it's not probably, that's my greatest accomplishment in life for sure, is to give that to my kids.
That's awesome. Well, you hit on the word accomplishment. Let's talk about some of your accomplishments. What are 3 things you've accomplished in your life that you're proud of?
Well, I think for sure I mentioned it is my kids, and I mean, I think that might be even a little bit of a cliche answer, but it's just really the God's honest truth. Like every minute in time and everything that I've invested in them has been, well worth it. If there was only one thing mentioned at my funeral, that I would hope that would be it. I've been able to do some other things. I've been able to write, I've been able to speak a lot. I've been featured in some magazines. I have been able to tell my story and share a lot of my life and things that I've been able to overcome. I think, the third thing I think for me that really gives me the greatest satisfaction is I have clients. I work with a lot of executives and high level people, and I've been able to really help them, make some difference and change in their lives and even their organizations. That brings me a lot of satisfaction. I also work with kids who have aged out of the foster system with a program called Angel Reach. I recently have started going to visit and talking to and mentoring some of the juveniles that are incarcerated in Montgomery County. Those are the forgotten kids. Those are the ones who, statistics say they don't really have much of a chance. And I find so much joy in teaching them the things that I've done in my life, because I should be with them. I should be in their statistic. My brothers have all, I have my 4 brothers. 2, all 4 have struggled with addictions. 2 have lost their lives as a result of addictions, and 2 have served time being prisoner of addictions and also prisoner incarcerated in jail and prison, which, by the way, both of them have been able to be sober and turn their life around, and also reach out and reach up to those behind them and help shine a light for them. But I should be that. I know it. I know by God's grace that I'm not. And so I love that. That brings me a lot of joy, working and just getting to know and mentoring kids and letting them know they don't have to be a statistic. They do. They do have it. There is a chance. There's a way. There's a way.
Love it. I love it. Well, just hearing you talk about your journey, hearing you discuss the amazing things that you're proud of. I would consider that to be hugely successful. So let's hit on success. What is your definition of success?
Well, I think that truly the relationships, this is how I measure wealth in my life. For me personally, is the relationships in our lives that we create. Not just for me personally, in my family, those relationships are everything, but even with friends and people that we meet, those rich relationships are truly what, give me a rich, beautiful life. I also will add that, people, we can say that money doesn't matter and money isn't important. And in a lot of ways, it's not. But also, being successful in business has allowed myself and my husband and I to invest in what does matter to us. And that's those relationships and the people, and provide and create a life and do things that we want. And it does give you a level of freedom and comfort to where, you can have the life that you want. So I am proud of that too. I do think that there's a factor in that. I don't think it's the most important thing. I don't think I don't think money definitely is not at the top, but it does allow to invest in what does matter.
There you go. Good deal. Well, as we close, I'd love for you to have an opportunity to share with the audience how they can follow you and check out some of your movements with what you have, all the amazing things you have going on, and show you some love.
I would love that. I would love that. I'm on Instagram. My family and a lot of my life is on Melissa Lynne Ashton. And I recently, just a few weeks ago, started sharing some tips and putting out there, just sharing just little things that I've learned and that I teach, and tools that I have used and I teach people to use to make the changes that they want, to create the life that they love. And that is the Melissa Lynne Show. Also on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, book, and some other places, but you can find me there. And I hope if you do stop by that you'll say hi to me and would love to chat.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, again, I just want to say thanks so much for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles. Truly appreciate it. And I wish you continued success.
Thank you, Chip. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, of course. And thank you. And thank you guys for checking out this episode. We'll see you next time. God bless. Go get it.